Hello and welcome. I hope everyone's doing okay. I'm doing alright. Feels like it's been a couple of weeks since I've done one of these, so I thought we'd just catch up. I've not really been doing a lot. I had a couple of busy weekends, got a couple of busy more weekends coming on, but this time of year is just that little awkward spot between winter and spring proper. But it's a nice time to, take stock and sort of prepare myself for the coming up next couple of months where everything's going to start going growing and getting into gardening mode proper. So what I like to do at this sort of stage is, as you can see, I've tidied up a bit. All the rocks are at the back there around the barbecue, so I've tidied them up from the garden. Just give it all a bit of a spruce up, tied everything up, which is why the pile is so big in the middle of offcuts. And yeah, I like to sort of just take stock and see where we're going forward for spring. So yeah, I always split it up into short, medium and long term sort of things over the next sort of 2 or 3 months, and then I'll do another sort of stock check there, and if you know what I mean, for summer proper. So really short term wise, you can see, or you probably haven't done, but the plants that were inside my unheated room at the back of the garage are now out. Dead centre there is the Ensete, which, if you remember, had loads of green fly on. I bought it out here, they all went, I took it back in, and then they got loads of green fly on them again, so he's out now. I know that's a touch risky. That Ensete was going to be actually the second wave of plants I bought out, but I just wanted to get him out, so we'll see if he sinks or swim. So yeah, you can still just about see all the green fly still on it, all the husks of them, or whatever's going to happen. But now hopefully they're out, that'll start getting eaten up. I don't think the aphids can actually feed off that, because it's quite tough unless they're doing it off the new stuff. But still, you'll notice the pot that is in is the same as the one that's over there at the bottom of that fence post. So what I'm going to do with this, I'd forgotten actually how windy this garden gets at this time of year, so what I'll probably do with this one at the moment, just while he's getting used to the temperatures now, is I'll probably, because that's where he's actually going to live, in a pot. This will be obviously patio when I'm done in the end, but instead of putting it actually in the flower bed next to the banana where it will sort of butt up against it and half the leaves will go up against it, I thought if I have it in a pot out here, then it will make it grow more evenly wide, if you know what I mean, because it'll be able to get its leaves across like that one is. So that one will just go in one of the green pots, which I can't see where they are, but I've got some big green pots, so that one will go in there, but I won't repot it for a couple of weeks yet. Just let it sort of sort itself out a bit with the climate change. I'm going to put him down here next to this Cyathea couperii, which has come out as well. I had to get a bit brutal with it and chop him right down some of the big fronds, just because they were sort of split, and they looked like they were going to die, so I thought I'd do it. He's just in here for now. I was hoping to keep him where this chair is, but it's too windy. But there seems to be quite a nice non-windy spot, so it makes sense to move the Ensete where that chair is, and then I'll get rid of that chair in a minute. But you can just see like this, it looks, I love the way these fronds are, where it's got like the nice long stalk, and then when it like goes out into a proper frond, it's like almost flat, if you see what I mean. It's yeah, I quite like it. So this one, in the end, in 2-3 weeks time, as long as the weather behaves itself, will probably, well, 99% sure it'll go in here where these 4 stones are. You can see the small Cyathea australis is going to go in there. Same again, just leave them in there, let them get used to the weather. The other Cyathea is going to go over here. It's a couperii. What I'm probably actually going to do is, I've put him there, that's where one of them will go, and then the other one will go over here somewhere where the sort of gap is between the Schefflera and the Setiferum there on the left. The reason I haven't actually put that over there is because there's a royal fern just there that you can see I've chopped right back, and then I don't know what that is there, but something's growing. I thought I dug that out, whatever that was. I thought it was the ostrich fern, the Maticua struthiopteris, which is one there, but maybe it's spread or something like that. I didn't clock it, but yeah, I'll wait until that starts growing and I'll dig him out. And then what I'll probably do is that Couperii I'll probably put here, and then when I get a big Australis, or an Australis similar in size to that Couperii over there, he can go in there, and then that means, because it's going to have two established ferns next to it, they'll sort of grow over the crown of it, if you like, just to keep it, give it a bit of protection. So you can also see I've been round and just done a little bit of chopping. I haven't done any of the bushy ferns like the Polypodium there, Polystichum setiferums, the Aspleniums, or the Erythrosauras. I've just been round and did this kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, standard ferns. Let's go with that for a minute. But this one over here, which is a Polystichum polyblepharum, I've got really brutal with him, but you can see he has appreciated it. And these ones, kind of like the Atrata, they uncurl in like a sort of, almost like a whippy type thing. But can you see how sort of furry the fronds are as they're coming out? And then they sort of do all this sort of thing, but it looks good, so hopefully in a couple of weeks that'll look really good. Other than that, chop the berries off of this Fatsia. I take it it's going to grow from this grow point just to the right of where I've chopped, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, what else we got over it? Oh yeah, the Tetrapanax. He's sending up another leaf. That leaf looks really good, the one on the right, so I'm pretty happy with that at the moment. We'll just leave him in there. I had to chop off all the Lophosauria ones. They all got burnt with the frost, so it doesn't look like there's anything there, but there are quite a few crow's ears coming up through, so hopefully that'll have a chance to get going now. Another bit I did was uncovered, there's a ginger down here. I forgot what it is. We'll get to that another day, but there's a ginger down there, and then I also uncovered the canna there. I did learn a lesson with the covering it up for winter though, which is don't put the straw down and then put loads of bark on top of it, because the straw got wet and it never got a chance to dry out. So we'll see how that does, but it looks like I've got a new spike coming up right at the sort of bottom of the clump, if you see what I mean. I might actually have a go at dividing now. I don't know whether I need to dig it up to divide it. I know the canna's like full sun, but I'm wondering if I could get it over there just to give me a bit of green up highlight, maybe where that fig tree is over there that I've been umming and ahhing about getting rid of for a while. So yeah, so really when it comes to short, medium and long term, I need to sort out the Cyaphias and the Ensete, and then what that'll do is that'll free up that pot that the Ensete is in, the grey one, so that I can move him to here. It'll free up the purple pot that's in, which is going to go right in the corner on top of that bit there, and I'll probably get something like a little rhododendron or something in there, because the rhododendrons, they've got quite nice foliage on them. Don't want anything too crazy, so I'll probably pop him in that pot over there in the corner. The Cyaphias are pretty much sorted on their location, so I'm happy with that. So other than that, the only other plant that I've got inside is the giant honeysuckle, which I've moved from the south facing window, which was up there. You can't really see it, but it's up there, and I've moved him into this cold room where the others were, just to sort of get him used to the, you know, because the trouble is when he's in heating, you know, he doesn't get the sort of effect of the night and day temperatures, whereas in there it won't frost in there, it will stick at about 7 and 10 degrees. But hopefully that'll just sort him out. But it is absolutely going mental, that thing already. I almost need to sort of trim it but I don't want to do that. So in order for that to be put out hopefully in the first couple of weeks of April, over there where that coil is, I need to have somewhere for it to go, which means working on the trellis like I've been on about. I think what I'm actually going to do, because it should go quite woody and support itself once it gets up on something, so instead of doing like a big trellis, I think what I'm going to do is run it up on a load of wires and then just do like a trellis running along the top of everything, like a small one. That'll save me a lot of money, and B, it means that because it's got 3 good growing points on it, so I figure if we're looking at it like where that coil is, that stone at the bottom of the coil, one of them I'll train up towards the flower bed and run along the top that way, and hopefully it can hit the waterfall when that goes in. Another one up this way across and then onto this pergola when it gets done, and then another one up and hopefully get it to go around this post. Now what that does is that if it goes mental, I'm going to need, when it reaches the top of that, it needs to do something, so I'm just playing around with whether I get some of these supports in for the pergola up high. But unfortunately what that means is I kind of have to go all in on it, because I need to pick the lowest one of these, because I haven't bothered, I didn't level them all off, I just stuck them in so they're not all level. So I need to find the lowest one and then work off that one and work out what I'm going to do with it all. So that's basically my short-term goal, is to just get some wires in and a bit of trellis for that for now. Medium term will be the upper part of it. And then down here, oh yeah, I sort of, one thing which annoyed me actually is that I'm quite good at thinking of stuff I need to do, but what I actually forgot to do with these is run some irrigation pipe into it to do as drip feeders for these. I'm going to run it like up the back of the holes that I've put in them in the soil and just have them stick their head out. Unfortunately it might have to take these Jurassic Golds out again to do it, but you know, it is what it is. So that's another medium term actually goal, is for the plumbing, as it were, get the 2 runs of irrigation out and get that sorted, at least so that I can just do the gravity watering for the flower beds in a few months time if needed. So that's something else I've got to think about. I have decided on what I'm doing on this seating area, as you can see. It doesn't obviously look good, this is just all the spare pavers I've got, but it was mainly just to sort of see how it would look. So you can see those big coping stones I've had, I put them 2 down each side and then just sort of come back in with, made it up with these rocks. That one there isn't perfect, the one touching the fence post, but it's good enough for now. I just need to cut that black edge in so that it sort of is in a 45 from that junction in the stuff that's pinned into the floor into the fence post. That will look quite good. And yeah, so that's that. And then yeah, another sort of medium to long is going to be another couple of climbers, which I want to hopefully, where the Dicksonia is, somewhere in around there, get a Hydrangea Seemanni, I think it is, have that grow up there and sort of cover the middle part of that fence. And then in here I want to get the Star Jasmine, the Tracheospurnum, to grow up this one, but I need to get all this set in as well. So the kind of, it's definitely looking like I need to sort of think about the trellising and the supports and get the wires run across and things like that. But yeah, other than that, we're making progress. The only other thing I did was put these steps in here just as a little mock-up to get around for the wife to do the washing. So yeah, all good. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well. See you later.